Hello and welcome. Today we are looking at the Propel Tunnel. This small tiny whoop micro quadcopter has altitude hold. It does 360 flips. It has different rates of speed and has plenty of other neat features. So let's check it out. Now the drone comes in this tall black and transparent box where you could see the drone and transmitter clearly there in the front. And this is the Propel Tunnel, palm-sized high-performance drone. And as you could see, it has a listing of its features on the side, such as 6-axis gyro, a training mode, a 200-foot range of control, so on and so forth. It has altitude hold with a pressure sensor, and it has unlimited replacement parts for a year, and it's for intermediate or beginner skill levels. And right up here it says Propel. And here on the sides, it doesn't really have much, just some miscellaneous text there. And here on the back, it has more descriptions on all the details with the tunnel drone. And you can see the red version of the quadcopter with its transmitter. So a very neat micro quadcopter for ages 14 plus. Now let's open it up here from the bottom and take a look inside here. We'll pull open the flaps here and just pull out the center portion of the box here, and we've almost got it. And right here you can see the drone and transmitter right away here, right there in the center. Very cool. This is the charcoal or black model, very shiny and neat. And here inside this small box here we have the brochures and manuals along with the little bags of accessories here. So pretty neat. Here are the brochures and manuals, and here are the two bags. One has the 4 spare propellers and their tri-bladed props, and here we have the battery, the charger, a little screwdriver, and a little tool to help remove the propellers. So pretty neat. And now let's take a closer look here at the transmitter. It's a small transmitter, but very useful and comfortable. So very nice there. And now let's take a closer look here at the quadcopter. Pretty nice. Pretty cool here. Very shiny. It says Propel there in the center. And this is essentially a tiny whoop drone here. And right here at the bottom we have its battery bay. And we just insert the battery, and there is no on-off switch or anything like that. Just insert the battery and you're ready to go. So let's organize all this and take one last look at the contents of the box. Now, taking a last look at the contents of the box, we have the drone itself. It's 3.7 volt, 150 milliamp LiPo battery, a screwdriver, a tool to remove the propellers, 4 spare propellers, the transmitter, the USB proprietary charge cable, and the instruction manuals and brochures. So that's essentially the contents of the box. Now let's take a closer look at the drone. Now, taking a closer look at the drone, this is a neat little micro quadcopter that's essentially a tiny whoop from Propel. And this one comes in a dark, shiny charcoal finish, but there are other colors such as red. And this is a brushed motor quadcopter with tri-bladed propellers and these protective ducts all around. So great for indoor flying. And here's its battery bay. And essentially you activate the drone by simply plugging in the battery, since there is no on-off switch or button on the quadcopter. And once it's plugged in, you could see here it has pretty bright LEDs in the front and the back. A white one in the front and a red one in the back. And there aren't any lights on each of the legs or the corners, but they're pretty bright. And so now unplugging the battery and taking a closer look here, it's a 3.7 volt, 150 milliamp LiPo battery, and it does charge with this proprietary USB charger. And you just simply connect it to the battery like so. And once you do that and the USB part, you should see a light indicator on that. indicating that the charging is underway. And as mentioned before, this is a 1S 3.7 volt 150 milliamp LiPo battery here, and it does take around 30 to 45 minutes to charge, and it gives the quadcopter around a 6-minute flight time, which is pretty good for this size quadcopter. And so that's essentially it for the drone. Now let's take a closer look at the transmitter. Now, taking a closer look at the transmitter, this is a small, comfortable, gamepad-like transmitter from Propel. And here in the back, behind the lid and screw, it does take two AAA batteries, as you can see here, two AAA batteries. And now going over the controls a bit, right here in the center, we have the on-off switch. And once you turn it on, you can see the red light indicator. And right here in the center, we have the auto takeoff and land button. And right here on the sides, we have our trims, our directional trims. We have our left throttle stick, followed by our right rudder stick. And right here at the top, we have our rates of speed. There are 3 rates of speed, and if you keep it pressed, it'll activate the training mode, which limits the speed and altitude the quadcopter will fly. And here on the right, we have our flips button, which only apply to rates 2 or higher. And you simply move the rudder in the direction you want the quadcopter to flip. So those are essentially the controls there. And this controller does offer the quadcopter a 200-foot range of control. So now let's take a closer look at setting up the quadcopter for its first time flight. Now, setting up the drone for its first time flight is very straightforward. Once you have a fully charged battery prepared for the drone and fresh batteries inserted into the transmitter, you would first start out by activating the drone simply by plugging in its battery right here at the bottom. So you just simply plug that in and you should see the lights start to blink. At that point, you want to turn on the transmitter by turning on its on-off switch right here in the center. And now you should see both lights start to blink. And now you want to bind the transmitter to the drone by moving its left throttle stick up and down, like so. And now you should see the lights go solid, indicating the transmitter has been bound to the quadcopter. And now a good recommended first step is to calibrate the drone's gyros by moving both sticks down and to the right, like so. And you should see the quadcopter start to blink a couple of times. Make sure this is done on a flat ground level surface with the quadcopter still and not moving. And now you can move both sticks down and in to activate the motors in idle, and you can give it some altitude to take off, or you can hit the auto takeoff button here in the center to also take off. So that's essentially it for the drone. Overall, a neat little drone. It's cool that it has a removable battery for being a small tiny whoop. A lot of these small drones have built-in batteries, so that's cool. It's a safe and quiet indoor and outdoor flyer. So let's take her up for a flight and see how she performs.